Hello, welcome back. If you're returning, welcome if you're new here. Today's video is all about this awesome deck. I'm super excited to be here. We're going to take a look at the whole package, including the box, the book. There's some things I'm really excited about the book that I cannot wait to share with you, as well as the cards. We are going to do a flip through of the cards, but if you are interested in watching a flip through of these cards without talking and then other stuff, I do have videos recorded in 4K and I have them recorded vertically for cell phone users. So if you're on a cell phone, feel free to check that out. Hopefully that'll be a better viewing experience than watching in horizontal, because you deserve it, right? And yeah, check your playback speed if you are doing that to make sure that you are set for the highest playback resolution so you can hopefully see these cards in 4K. The links for those are in the description, and if you're gonna be doing that, then I will see you there. Now, also, if there is something that you are specifically looking for in this deck that you would like to look at, I do have timestamps in the description, so check that out. And if there is something that I did not cover in this video that you are wondering about, feel free to shoot me a question, and if I can answer it, then I will do so. So having said that, let's jump in. Here is the box. We're going to start with the box, and then we're going to go to the book, and then we're going to go to the cards. So it is a hardcover box. There's really nothing super special about it, and yet it's really just pretty. So pretty. I love the colors, the designs. It's well done. The sides are pretty much the same. I don't know if anybody ever watches this. Like, if you watch the box portion of this video, can you just let me know? I really don't know if it's like something worthwhile doing or not, but I still do it because, like, I don't know, I think some people probably watch these parts, but not sure. But anyways, so that is the box. It's basically got like a black theme with like darker colors and like yellow. So, and I think maybe that's what makes it a little bit kind of unique. So like, it's nothing that super stands out. Like, it doesn't have any glitter on it. It doesn't have any, like, I don't know, some boxes are just a little bit nicer. There's nothing super unique about this, but it's still very kind of eye-catching and pretty, and I think it is the contrast of the colors. So it's really kind of beautiful and well done, has a little bit of an eerie feel to it, and I can't believe I'm talking so much about it, but that's what it is. This is a deck that is also published by Rockpool, so I just wanted to mention that. It is hard. It is like cardboard, and it's open slide type of a thing. The inside is yellow, so this is a very interesting color as well. Sometimes it kind of almost comes off as neon green depending on the lighting that I've noticed, but nothing too special about the inside of it other than, again, that color contrast, which is quite nice. No designs or quotes though, like some decks will have designs or quotes on the inside. This one does not. So pretty kind of basic, but also nice. And that's that. So if you can kind of see, it's not a very large box. Probably pretty standard for Rockpool, but I don't know, like, and I feel like I should know this, but I really don't know. I guess they do come in different, because I'm looking at a deck I have right now, and it's also published by Rockpool, I believe, and it's a bigger one. So I guess it just kind of depends on the deck. But that's the book, and it pretty much fits into the box. So that's kind of the set that we have. The cards fit really nicely, and the book fits just beautifully, snugly into the box. And having said that, I'm putting it away, and let's take a look at the book. So it's an actual book. Yay, there's a plus. Because, yeah, I feel like every deck should probably, with a few exceptions, I really appreciate having a book with the deck. So we do have an actual book, not just a pamphlet, which is really nice. It is laminated on the outside, and it is the same photo that we have on the front of the box as well. So just to let you know. Okay, and then we have the side. Whoops, I dropped something. This is the side of it. Camera's having issues focusing. There we go. And this is the back of this book. And that is actually the splotches, if you're seeing those, that is not stained by me. That is the how this is printed. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this camera to, oh, there we go. I was having issues with the focus on the camera, but there we go. So as I was saying, this splotchiness, I believe it is to have like an aged effect, because we have that same thing going inside the book in the pages, which is really nice. So they're kind of like an off-whitish grayish cream, more cream than gray really, which is kind of, I guess you can't really have cream and gray, can you? Because they're kind of like different color tones, right? But yeah, it's like more warm toned, and it's definitely not white. If you can sort of, I don't know if I can show you, but it's, yeah, it doesn't have, like, there's white right there, and that's the color of the page. So yeah, so that's our book, and this is the size of it, and I want to take a look inside. It is in color, which is really exciting, and the other really nice thing about it is that it has images, which is really nice. So it like full page images. As we flip and we enter a new section, or like we exit a section, it gives us an image from the deck, which is, I think, beautiful. So that's the start of it. Name of the deck, then we have an image, and we have like the other information for this deck, and then we flip it, and then we have the standard stuff and a contents. So we have introduction, how to use the cards, you are the magic, which are spreads, and then we have the cards numbered. And that is basically that, aside from the acknowledgments about the author and the illustrator as well. So that's the book. So this book has 120 pages in total. There are 119 numbered pages. So nice. Nice sized book. Each card gets 2 sides of a page, which is really nice. And there are cards, and they are in color. Yay, I love it. And we're going to come back to that section in a little bit. But that's really exciting. I really appreciate when there's pictures and when they are in color as well, when it comes to stuff like this. So having said that, let's jump into the actual like meat of the book. So we have, like I said, we exit a section with a picture, and we enter another one with another picture. Isn't that brilliant? I love that. We go into the introduction, couple of pages. We have how to use the cards, how to pull cards, information about reversals, companion cards, and companion tarot cards, and how to use those. And we'll get into that a little bit later, and you will know what that is in this deck. So we'll go over that information. But now after that section, we have you are the magic, and these are spreads. And this is what really excites me about this deck, about this book in this deck, is because these spreads are wicked. So we have, I believe, 9 spreads in total, okay, for this little tiny book. 9 spreads, and they are pretty cool. They're not your kind of standard. We have one standard spread, and that is the 3-card spread, but other than that, it's like really, it's like you have spreads in this book. It's really cool, and I'm going to show you what they are. Yeah, but I not ramble and just show you. So we have interview your deck spread, which is really cool. Really appreciate that. I think it's a great idea for a new deck. And it's like one of those spreads that I feel like if you put that in the book, it's like you can't lose, right? Because it's like awesome. Like a lot of decks will have like the 3-card spread, the 1-card spread, the 2-card spread. This is really cool, and like they'll kind of finish it at that. Like there'll be 2 or 3 spreads, and nothing wrong with it, of course. But when you have like extra little stuff like this, like with what this creator did, awesome. I love it. It's just like such a big bonus. So that's our first spread. Our second spread is a 3-card spread, and what's really neat about this is that it also gives you different ways of using it, right? So like you can do a past, present, future as a standard, but for example, you can do mind, body, spirit, or you can do who do you think you are, who are you really, and what's your purpose, right? So card number 1, 2, 3, which is really neat. I'm not gonna like keep going into that, but I just wanted to show that, because even with that 3-card standard spread, there's like more information and kind of how to do that, how to like change that spread up so you can really examine different things, and also you can get creative and come up with your own questions using this 3-card spread. But yeah, so those are the 2. So we have 1 and 2. And then the 3rd spread is bathing in the reverse spread, a weekly self-check-in, self-care check-in. Yes, please, thank you. Finding your coven, getting to know new friends. Then we have spread number 5, phases of the moon, a general 4-card spread. The elements spread, what resources are available to you. The forest spread, seeing the bigger picture. We have book of spells, a general situation spell. We have as above, so below, a spread for manifesting goals. Like, how cool is that? And of course we finish with an image, or actually we don't finish with an image here, but we start the new section, let's say, with an image. So how cool is that? That's like, I love it. I love it. Yeah, I like, when I saw this, I got so excited. It was like, no way, like, and I want to try these spreads. I want to check them out because it's just fun and cool, and like, I really appreciate it. Thank you, creator, for doing that. But anyway, the next section is about the cards, and that's what we have all the way up until, I believe it is acknowledgements. Okay, so that's our book, and let's get into kind of the meat of it now. So card number 1, this description of the cards. So what we have is we have an image in color. Again, yay, appreciate that, thank you. And I'm gonna just show you a comparison. So on the card we have obviously our image, and one more time. Okay, we have our image. It is card number 1. It's called knowing, and the keyword is take the first step, and that's what we have in this book. We have number, we have what it's called, and we have the keyword take the first step, and that is expanded upon. And then we have the companions that I mentioned earlier. So we have tarot companions, and then we have companion cards as well, and of course we have like the description of the cards. So what this creator did was that she included tarot cards that have a similar meaning to those cards in the tarot. So like knowing is High Priestess, the Fool is kind of like, that would be like a companion card. Flying Ointment, for example, would be 3 of Cups. So hopefully that's probably like self-explanatory, right? With the this section here, with the section companion cards, this is the invitation, enter at your own risk. These 2 cards are cards from this deck. So these are companion cards from this deck. We have companion from tarot, and we have other companion cards. And what that means is when you're doing a reading, and let's say you get this card, knowing, and you get the invitation, it will give you a deeper understanding into what this means, right? Because they're showing up together. So very cool. Nice kind of twist on this. You can use this deck in a little bit more depth, I guess, if you kind of look and familiarize yourself with this book and these cards and the meanings of them. And of course, if you want to like just read intuitively, more power to you, but it's very cool how they kind of did that. So yeah, now I just want to see, one thing that I'm a little bit confused about is like with this card we have tarot companion strength, but then companion cards we have High Priestess, and I wonder if there is a card in here that is actually named High Priestess, because that's a little bit confusing. So let me just check, and I don't see it here. Yep, okay, so High Priestess is a card in this deck, and now things make a lot more sense. Yeah, but anyways, this is the book. I think there is not anything else I will really be talking about it. It's a neat little book. I love that the creator of this deck took these extra steps into making this what it is. It's unique and I love it, and I'm very excited about it. And I feel like just like the cards are beautiful, but having like a really nice companion book, very cool. Okay, and I think that's it. So we're gonna jump into the cards. Okay, so I have the deck here, and these are the cards. This is how large they are, and I should have grabbed a tarot deck to show you a comparison, but basically I would classify these as standard sized oracle cards. Now let me see, because I know I had a deck here, and okay, I think we'll use, I never know. I feel like these cards are a little bit taller than your standard sized tarot deck. Oh, there we go. Yes. Okay, I found the standard sized tarot deck. Yeah, so let's see. So, yeah, I guess they are the same size, but that doesn't matter. Let's take a look at the size of the oracle cards that we have here. So this is how they compare. So it's a pretty standard sized oracle card, I would say. And it is pretty thick, not overly thick, but nice and sturdy feeling. The thickness is, if you can kind of see that. My camera has a pretty hard time focusing when I try to kind of show that, but they are a nicely decent thick cardstock, not overly laminated, nice lamination on the cards, and the sides are in yellow. Isn't that nice? So it's just a really nice continuation of the color scheme. And my camera again is having a hard time with the focus here. Let me see if I can fix this. Okay, so it's struggling quite a bit. I'm not really sure why, but you get the idea, right? We got yellow. Oh, there we go. Yellow. It's quite nice. They're quite nice. Borders. I'm sorry, it's not really, I don't know, it seems not to, maybe it wants to sabotage me today, I guess. But yeah, so that's that. These are the backs of the cards. Very beautiful. You can read these reversed, very possible, because it is the same, right, with no matter which side you do that on. I want to also mention the detail on the moon. If you can see that, we have a very, oh, you know, maybe that's what that is, because I was gonna say, like, it, that seems to be made to be like aged, right? Like that looks like it's meant to be like kind of like look like it's been aged, but I wonder if it's not also like this combination of like aged paper as well as like bringing the moon into this, which is really cool, like really witchy, really cool. I like that. But whatever the reason for it, it's just such a beautiful detail on the back. I love the back of these cards. They're gorgeous. Yeah, the one thing I want to say to this deck though is that I have not shuffled it very much. I did the flip throughs recordings. I did not shuffle them then, but I did shuffle this deck and did myself a mini reading, so I shuffled it a few times and it's already starting to show wear, okay? Which, can you see that, like on the bottom? It's very disappointing how just like quickly this is falling apart for me. It's not, if this deck is used, it's not going to hold up very well. I honestly, I don't know what the difference is, where like some decks just do so much better than others, but it's just like, what, really? Anyways, it is what it is, worth mentioning. I guess nothing we can really do. You can even kind of see that, like, if you can kind of see that there, like, that might be just a fluff, is it? kind of hard to tell, but yeah, it's just kind of sad. Because you would hope that your deck would last a little bit longer than like 3 or five like rounds of shuffling, maybe. Like not even 5, I guess. It would probably be like 3 rounds of shuffling. Yeah. So, yeah. So, that's one disappointing thing. I do want to say, I'm gonna show you the flip through of these now. And again, like if you want to just watch a flip through, no talking, 4K, check out the links. But otherwise, let's take a look at these cards in this video. I'm gonna fix the camera view so you can get a better view of them as well. Okay, so when I first got this deck, I was excited about it, but then I kind of opened it and I was looking at it and I was like, I felt, to be honest, a little bit disappointed, and I thought, oh man, maybe I should have gotten one of the other ones that I've been eyeing. And yeah, I wasn't quite sure about it, right? Then when I did the recording of this deck for the flip through videos, I was just stunned by how gorgeous this deck is. Some of the cards, like this one is like, I think for because we're into different things, so some people might be like, oh my god, this card's amazing, right? To me, this one's just kind of like neutral, but then we have cards like this, and that's like, this one is just, for me, it's just so fun, and I just love it. It's just, yeah. So then I was like, I'm happy I bought this because it's really pretty. I love the contrast, like the different contrasted, like deep colors that we have. Like, look at how beautiful is that. And speaking of like the contrasted colors, like that's just beautiful. Again, this one is just kind of like take it or leave it. Actually, this card is kind of scary to me. I don't know why. Kind of gives me devil vibes from the tarot, but, or like yeah, probably not Tower, but I don't know. This one reminds me of a different deck that I can't think the name of, but very Christmassy there. So very interesting artwork. And this flip through is going very slowly. So that's one of the images we have in the book. Look at that, that's cool. I love that it has writing like, I recognize the power of my words and use them for the good of all. That's great. Invocations, the power of words. That's really cool. I like that. And that's a picture we have on the box and the book and the inside of the book. Very nice. It's almost like there's different styles of art here, like just the different feelings of these cards. Like, they almost feel like they're from different universes. Right? Like this, like I just feel like this artwork is quite different from this one. Like these two just feel a little bit more similar than these two. Yeah, it's like it's an interesting vibe that this deck has. Like, and I've noticed that like some of the images, it almost feels like they mixed up the kind of different styles or feels or something. This is really interesting. I wonder, I've not worked with this deck much, and I'm curious about the energy of it. I hope it's good to read with. That is very nice. I haven't read this yet, and I would like to, but I'll see. Oh, there's the High Priestess. Nice. So I should definitely look into this because I was a little bit confused about that. So I'm going to look at the description of that card at some point. Poison Thorn. Low vibration. Nice. That's really cool. Vibrations. That makes sense. I like that. Enter at your own risk. Ooh. Okay, a little bit like Halloween-y, but it is a witch's deck, right? The spirits. Witch's brew. Mud and moss, stagnation. Forgotten ghosts, reunion. Deep being, self-love and anticipation. Acceptance. Wow. Solitary witch, heal yourself first. Season of the witch, honoring cycles. Witching herbs, nourishment. Salt, boundaries. The witch hunter, danger. Midnight moth, distraction. And broken branch, heartache. As above, so below, manifestation. Okay. So as far as a witch's deck, I feel like there's not. We saw one witch on a broomstick, right? There was really nothing more about witches. We have like moons, we have fire dancing. That's not really, that could be kind of paganism, I guess, but not so much necessarily witches. So it's interesting that this is kind of called like the witch's oracle, or witching hour oracle. You would think that it would be a little bit more witch. It almost gives me like that definitely gives me like witch vibes right there, this card. But we don't see really witches. We just kind of see aspects of that maybe kind of thing. Like we have a familiar, we have spells, we have the Book of Shadows and stuff. So it seems like we kind of have themes, and it's interesting. I guess like we'll have as above, so below, and that stands for manifestation. Broken branch, heartache, that's not really witchy, that's just life stuff, right? Like, okay. So what I'm trying to really say here is that I think what I kind of found disappointing about this deck in the first place was that it wasn't very witchy. Like, this is salt, boundaries, or even like if we had like when we do have herbs, right? Like here we have herbs, but herbs stand for nourishment. They don't, let me see what it says in the book. You would think like maybe herbs, like potions or something, that would be something a little bit more like witch, like I don't know, like a spell or something, or I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say. Like I think I know what I'm trying to say, but it's not coming off quite right. Let me just see. Witching herbs. Herbs offer a variety of healing properties for everything from sleep to energy to detoxifying to moisturizing and hay fever to joint pain. I'm gonna skip this whole thing and see. You are guided to take better care of yourself, especially your physical body, getting enough sleep, eating nourishing foods, and discovering ways. So basically, witching herbs, that's just like self-care. So that's kind of what that's speaking to from what I read on this, in this little bit. Witching herbs is urging you to find a pace that is more sustainable for your long-term well-being. It will often come to a reading when you have far too much on your plate. Okay. So that's, let me see about the salts. That almost feels like this, like herbs just got randomly placed with the meaning of the card. And I am not saying this like to be like bashing this deck or this creator or anything like that. I just mean it's a little bit disconnected. I thought it would be a little bit more like witchy. Salt. Number 41, boundaries. So salt and boundaries makes a lot more sense to me. And I can see how herbs would be about self-care because it's healing as well, but that feels like such a bigger stretch. Whereas witchcraft, spells, salt, protection, we know these things if we know about these things, basically. But yeah, salt is one of the most important tools in a witch's cabinet and is often used to cast a circle of protection before performing a spell, right? Exactly. So I can see how this is about boundaries, how salt would be about boundaries, and that makes a lot of sense. So I feel like basically, I have not, of course, looked at every card and all the meanings, but I just feel like some of them are a little bit disconnected. 28, Season of the Witch, honoring cycles. Let's see. Okay, so honoring cycles is talking about letting go of control, embracing the season you're in, and repeating cycles. And I'm getting that from like right there. Okay, but this is about like also learning lessons from your cycles and stuff. So again, kind of disconnected. Like I can see, and I didn't read the whole thing, but I can kind of see how that is like hand in hand, and you can make those connections, but it's not so obvious, right? So like honoring cycles, you would think, okay, seasons, cycles, patterns, whatever you're thinking when you're getting this card in a reading and you're doing intuitive reading, is not really probably, I mean, I guess maybe you could come to the conclusion of letting go, but it really kind of depends. It's not so obvious from the card is what I'm trying to say. What's really obvious is that maybe like you're going into a new cycle, or you're ending an old cycle, or something or other, or maybe it's trying to give you like timing or something, like spring or summer. Like I would say probably summer, summer or spring, or something fall, but anyways, yeah. So maybe that was kind of the initial like disappointment that I had, because we see they don't seem like traditional witches with the witch hats and things like that, but still it is a gorgeous deck. I love it. The artwork is fantastic. The book is beautiful. And I think it's just a deck that if you kind of want to experience it from the artist's, creator's perspective, then it's a deck that would be worth using along with the guidebook, so that you can get a little bit deeper perspective of what it is about, unless you're just doing intuitive readings, and that is also fine, of course. But yeah. So let me just think about what else we can talk about here. And I want to kind of do a mock reading to show you what this would look like in a reading if you were doing one. Yes, so let me just get this out. And oh, let's shuffle as well. So we're going to do a shuffle and kind of see how they shuffle. So the shuffle is pretty comfortable. It's not bad at all. Pretty standard. They are obviously larger, so if you have smaller hands, then it will be, of course, more difficult. And we have this card that just popped up, so we're gonna use it. So let's take another one randomly, and I don't actually know why I'm shuffling, other than just to show you. Okay, and we're gonna take this one. So these would be our cards, and like let's say we're gonna use another deck. So let's see how these like jive together with other cards. Sorry about that noise. Hopefully I edited that out. Let me see. Okay, let's say we're using like a tarot card. So we have the Chariot, we have Strength. So let's put that here. And you can kind of see how they kind of work together. I feel like oh, I should have been a little bit more prepared, and there was going to be another noise, but I saved it, so that's good. Okay, I have another deck I want to just grab and show you. Okay, and like, okay, so let's say we have this card as well. Okay, so okie dokie. Okay, so that's kind of what you're looking at, in terms of like how they kind of play with other cards or how they sort of look like in when they're laid out, and I was gonna grab a few more cards and show you, but I lost them and now I found them. So good. Okay, so let's see, let's grab another card. So let's say we got that, right? And then let's say we have a couple of these cards. And we'll get like standard tarot here for you. Okay, so this is kind of what you're looking at. How they mingle and play. Yep, so there you have it. That's the deck. Let me just clean this up, and I think I'm going to be finishing this video here. So if you are still here watching, I hope this was beneficial to you in whatever way or form. If there's anything that you are curious about that I did not cover in this video, again, like I said in the intro, if you were there for it, I don't know. If you have any questions about this deck, feel free to drop those in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. I did not create this deck or anything. I had nothing to do with this deck coming into existence or anything like that, but I do have it, so if there's anything I can kind of answer for you, let me know and I will do my best. Okay, and I think that is that. Thanks for being here and watching. This was the Witching Hour Oracle. Okay, this is the deck, and I will leave it there. Thanks for being here. Have a great day or night or whatever. Take care.